Mirantis is adding a dynamic schedule to their OpenStack implementation. The goal is to better utilize infrastructure resources in Kubernetes by letting the scheduling algorithm sort everything out. The feature is seen as a way to bring the popular VMware Dynamic Resource Scheduler, DRS, functionality into OpenStack. This isn't the first time someone has tried, but Mirantis is taking a different look at it by using kernel live migration tooling. What do you make of all this, Tom?
So I think it's a very interesting play by Mirantis. The article that we linked in the show notes absolutely mentions the fact that this is not the first time someone's tried to create dynamic resource scheduling in Kubernetes. And I think part of the reason why it hasn't worked in the past is because a lot of people who use Kubernetes looked at this and went, but why? Because Kubernetes kind of doesn't have this monolithic infrastructure support system. If I want to dynamically move things around, I don't move them. I destroy the container over here and I recreate it over on a different cluster and it's done. Like there's no stickiness to it. But that's not what Mirantis is going after. So I don't know if you've heard of this company called VMware by Broadcom. Yeah, a lot. They're a niche company. They make some very specialized stuff. They're kind of up and coming. Okay, who am I kidding? They're not. They were the 800-pound gorilla in the virtualization market, and they kind of created these standards, if you will, that a lot of companies have stuck to for a long time. I mean, how many times have you heard people say that we need to be able to vMotion these containers between clusters? Again, the Kubernetes engineers are going, but why? Because that's the terminology and the methodology that people are used to using. They expect to be able to live migrate VMs, heavyweight containers, for those of you out there who are not up on the vExpert parlance like I am. But they want to be able to migrate these machines between infrastructure clusters. But then unfortunately, people tend to prioritize their favorite thing. Fun fact: you can pick out most fake profiles on any system anywhere by looking at the number of birth dates that are January 1. Why? Because January 1 is the default month and day, and they just change the year so that they have a good spread of people. Likewise, what's everyone's favorite AWS instance? US East 1, because it's the default. So basically what they're saying is we're going to create this resource scheduler that allows you to, every once in a while, go move things off of the default instance that you keep putting stuff on. That only makes sense for people who are trying to migrate off of a system that had a dynamic resource scheduler and put it onto a system where they need to learn to break those shackles. So Mirantis is basically putting training wheels on any people that are migrating from VMware by Broadcom to Mirantis, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to let you do the things you've been doing before because that seems to be the most comfortable thing that you're okay with right now. And then we're going to teach you how to really use containers. So I expect that this is going to be a feature that is going to have some value, but it's not going to be a huge selling point for Mirantis once people have migrated their workloads and kind of relearned the way that Kubernetes works. But again, good on you, because if you can actually make it work this time as opposed to the other false starts that they've had, hey, I'll take a win any day.